Welcome home, brave heroes. I'm Ash, this is AshQuest, and it's time once again to continue our perilous adventure, an assault on the Warlock of Firetop Mountain, a fighting fantasy gamebook in which we are the hero. Now, we are ready to commence combat with the Orc Chieftain and his servant. This time, I didn't give the servant the benefit of the doubt because it's clear his loyalties lie with that of his master, the Orc Chieftain, and I'm not feeling like being betrayed and stabbed in the leg. Therefore, I'm going to be using one of these dice to represent the stamina of the Orc Chieftain and the other of the servant, and I will be commencing the battle by rolling the additional 2d6s into my not cursed dice tray by Jot. And now we fight. Fight them one at a time. The monster goes first in fighting fantasy, at least in the Warlock of Firetop Mountain, and the Orc Chieftain will be the first monster to attack. His skill is 7, plus 4, meaning he has an attack score of 11. But my hero is not a pushover. Sir Pan is from the land of cake. Sir Pan may have a massive cake. Sir Pan rolls a 10 with his natural skill of 12, and this 22 brings the Orc Chieftain to his knees for but a moment. Now it's the servant's turn. He thinks he sees an opening, and he moves in to attack. The servant rolled a 10. His skill is 5, and this results in a total of 15 for the attack score. However, Sir Pan of Cake is not holding back. This is a 9 plus Sir Pan's skill of 12. A 21 to knock the servant aside effortlessly. The Orc Chieftain sees his opportunity to strike and does so with a 7 plus his skill of 7, meaning an attack score of 14, which we don't count dice rolls that roll outside of the tray. Sir Pan retaliates with a 4 plus a skill of 12. This is a 16. Sir Pan has once again countered the Orc Chieftain marvelously. The servant runs in for one more desperate attack. Teeth bared, claws out, running, jumping, and scoring an impressive 10 with his skill of 5. This is a 15. Sir Pan of Cake once again beats what he rolled with a total attack score of 12 plus 8, so 20. The Orc Servant is no more. He has been punted by kick of boot back out into the hallway where he slammed up against the stone wall, fell to the ground, and did not move again. The Orc Chieftain brandishes his whip, and it is futile, for the Orc Chieftain has scored an attack of 9, by default lower than the skill of Sir Pan of Cake, who rolls low but commences stomping the Orc Chieftain into the ground. These two orcs have been laid low, and my revenge is complete. But there is still a big job to do. It's time to turn to 21 and continue our adventure, now once again, blindly. I am really hoping that I do not hit any sort of parts in the book where we get immediately killed. The green blood of the dead orcs smells foul as it seeps from their bodies. You step around the corpses and investigate the chest. It is a sturdy affair, made of strong oak and iron, and it is firmly locked. You may try to smash the lock with your sword, or leave it alone and go through the open door. We didn't go through all this trouble to not discover what has been closely guarded by these orcs. We're going to turn to 339. The lock was obviously inadequate. It flies off and lands on the floor several meters away. You lift up the heavy lid and your eyes widen as you see the gold sheen coming from within. A fair number of gold pieces are inside. In one corner lies a small black bottle with a tight glass stopper containing a liquid of some kind. Also in the chest is a silky black glove. But as you are admiring this treasure, you hear a soft click and wince in pain as a small dart shoots forward into your stomach. Roll one die and subtract this number of points from your stamina to determine the effect of the poison in the dart tip. If you are still alive, turn to 201. Heroes, I've been wounded. How much will Sir Pan suffer? The full amount of 6. Sir Pan has just lost 6 stamina From a score of 22, which is blessedly high, Serpan writhes in pain for but a moment, not even really letting it show on his face. With a stamina of 16 left, we are still alive. It is time to see if the treasures will be worth it. Let's turn to 201. I'm not going to consider this tray cursed. Somehow, I knew I was going to roll a 6. You sink to the floor. You pull the dart out and decide to bandage the wound. This gives some relief, but you still feel weak. You decide to take it easy and examine the contents of the chest, but if you wish, you may eat some provisions here. There are 25 gold pieces, and the label on the bottle shows it to be a potion of invisibility, good for 1 dose. The glove is a mystery. You may put any or all of these into your haversack and leave the room. Turn to 293. Finally, 293, which is the leaving of this room. It has been consistently giving me opportunities to do that. This is the route that we will now be going finally, but I'm going to take those 25 gold pieces, and I'm not quite sure what else there will be for me to take. We've stomped 2 orcs so far, and I'm going to go ahead just as a record and write down Orc Chief and Servant, because I see that I have taken some note here. The GP, let's put the GP here in the corner. Gold pieces, 25. Now I think I only need 1 for the ferry ride, right? I don't know. Don't tell me. I don't want any spoilers, but 25 seems to be significant. What can we do with this gold? We have a bronze key with the word 99 on it, or the number is 99, excuse me. It might be spelled out. And we have a potion of invisibility, good for 1 dose. We also have the black glove, and I am going to go ahead and take that. All right, the book says that I can eat provisions. We've got a long journey to make, and we've only been given this opportunity this once. So one of our meals has been eaten, but we are adding 4 to our score, our stamina score. So we are now at 20 stamina, ready to leave this room and turn to 293. You arrive back at the junction in the passage and walk straight on eastwards. Turn to 113. Let me look at my map. This is the map that we've been able to have so far. Here is where we currently are, at the junction. And we'll turn to 113. You arrive at another junction in the passage. You may either go northwards or continue eastwards. So, we should make a note of this, exactly how this works. The junction is north or it is east, and I'll put little circles here to indicate where the junctions actually are. So I also need to make a note and say that that contains 25 GP, a glove, and a pot inva, which is a potion of invisibility and is a trap. I'm highly enjoying making the map, by the way. This is actually a lot of fun to do, making the map for the adventure as we discover the different places and kind of referring to it to get a sense of where I am. Let us continue eastwards and turn to 78. I feel like I could come back, possibly. The passage ends at a solid wooden door with metal hinges. Listening at the door, you hear strange mutterings and the clatter of what could be pots and pans. Whatever is in there, there are several of them. Do you want to go through the door or turn back? Of course I'm going to go through the door. It seems like this is a kitchen. I might be able to get some provisions here, or something else. We might have to fight a lot of cooks, perhaps a bunch of goblin cooks. Let's do that though. Turn to 159. Whatever the result, I will have explored more, and that is my prerogative. Sir Pan of Cake is an explorer. Sir Pan of Cake is somebody who wants to explore every nook and cranny of the depths in order to make the next adventurer's life more simple. You open the door into a large room, which can only be the dining room of the same warty-faced creatures you now recognize. Sitting around a large table are 5 orcs busily drinking and dribbling their bowls of rat-gizzard soup. All are involved in a rowdy argument as to who will get to chew the rat bones left in the large soup cauldron, so they do not see you enter. You may be bold and prepare to attack them, turn to 365, or you may not relish the prospect of taking on 5 of these creatures and try to escape. If you wish to leave the room, test your luck. If you are lucky, you get out without them noticing. There's no penalty for escaping. If you are unlucky, they notice you. Prepare for battle and turn to 365. Well, it looks like we have to test our luck no matter what. I don't get the choice. So we will test our luck. We're going to roll 2d6 and hope that the result is... I really don't care what the result is, to be honest with you. 6. It is lower than our luck, but we are lucky, so the luck is 11, and that is what it's at now. We are now going to turn to 237. You move swiftly down the passage and arrive back at the junction. Turn northwards this time. Turn to 285. So here is a dining hall. I don't know what else is here, but I will put down that there are 5 orcs. And I really need to get a pen so that this is a bit easier to see. Actually, this would have been the easier thing to do. Right on a surface, Ash. Right on a surface. 5 orcs is the important part. I think I realize. Okay. Turn to 285. Yes. You see a well-used door on the right hand or east side of the passageway. With your ear to the keyhole, you listen and hear a man screaming for help from inside. A well-used door. People are in and out of this door constantly. I don't think that this is a trap. Or will I walk onwards? I think I'm going to have to check out this room. From here, we're going to open the door and turn to 213. The door is locked. You may try to charge it down by rolling 2 dice. If the number rolled is equal to or less than your skill score, the door bursts open. Turn to 36. Since our skill is actually 12, we're going to be able to burst this door open with ease. Sir Pan is trained in the art of cake stomping. We won't speculate on what that means. I just know that he is. And it is less than our skill score. So, we can turn to 36 now. Turning to 36, we find the locked door bursts open and a nauseating stench hits your nostrils. Inside the room and floor is covered with bones, rotting vegetation, and slime. We have an accompanying illustration to go with this image. This poor man. Now, a wild-haired old man, clothed in rags, rushes at you screaming. His beard is long and gray, and he is waving an old wooden chair leg. Is he simply insane as he appears, or has this been some kind of trap? You may either shout at him to try to calm him down, or draw your sword and attack him. Well, the last several times I gave my trust to any of the entities in this deep, dark, vile, dank dungeon, I have been betrayed time and time again, but Sir Pan is a man of compassion and resilience, as you might expect. Sir Pan is going to shout some sense into this man. We are going to Fustora him into submission. Let us turn to 263. 263. Did I get that right? That term? Is it Fustora? I think that's right. You shout, "You are free, old man," at the top of your voice. Not at the top of Sir Pan's voice. The top of Sir Pan's voice would instantly shake the foundations of the Firetop mountain internal structure until the walls came tumbling down. But instantly, his ranting cease. He stops dead in his tracks and sinks to the floor, weeping loudly. As he gradually composes himself, he thanks you many times. You talk with him in the hope of discovering some of the secrets of the mountain, and he begins to tell his story. Many years ago, he was an adventurer like you in search of the Warlock's treasure. He was captured by the orcs and thrown into his solitary cell as a sort of pet for the creatures. You ask whether he would like to accompany you into the mountain, but he simply wants to leave and see the world again. You ask him for advice, but he says he knows little. He advises you to pay your respects to the boatman. He tells you that you must pull the right-hand lever on the wall ahead to open the iron gate at the end of the passage. He has also learned that the keys to the boathouse are guarded by a man and his dog. You shake hands, leave the room, and go your separate ways. Add 1 luck and turn to 314. Well, that was quite a fruitful event. We are adding 1 luck, bringing our total luck score up to 12. And we are going to separate a section off on our character sheet to write some information down. We're just going to call this info and block it off. And the information that I have learned is pull right lever. Pay my respects to the boatman. Pay respect to boatman. I think this reads more of a to-do list, but quite truthfully it is. It looks like I wrote pay respect to Batman, which of course we should also be doing. And the keys to the boathouse are guarded by a man and his dog. Keys to boathouse. Guarded. Guarded. All right. That's good information. My good man, may you live a fruitful rest of your days. Turn to 314. Further up the passage, you see a door in the east wall. You listen hard but hear no sound. Do you want to open the door to investigate? If so, turn to 223. We are very much being successful at this exploration endeavor. Old man is in this cell, and there's a bit of a blockade there, so we'll put a line in the hopes that future Ash will know what he's doing. Now here is a quiet room, but it's as I said, we're going to explore. We are going to explore. We're going to learn where everything is. We're going to turn to 223. After all, the door is firmly locked. You may try to force it open, or you may continue along the corridor. Well, if it's locked, that has to mean there's something good behind it. This worked out for me last time. We are going to force it open by turning to 53. And worry not, for I do not doubt we will be successful. You charge the door, hitting it squarely with your shoulder. Roll 2 dice. If the number is equal to or less than your skill score, the door opens. And it is. And we will turn to 155. The door splits along its length, and you can wrench the timbers apart to let yourself in, as one does. A torch hangs from one wall, lighting up a small armory room stocked with swords, shields, helmets, daggers, breastplates, and the like. You examine the weaponry and find nothing appearing superior to your own sword. However, a circular iron shield with a golden crescent at its center catches your eye. You pick it up and feel its weight on your arm. If you wish to take this shield, it will aid you in battles by helping to fend off wound damage inflicted by a creature on you. If, in future, during a battle in which you are using this shield, a creature wounds you, you may throw 1 die. If you throw a 6, the creature inflicts only 1 point of damage instead of the normal 2. If for some reason the creature would normally only inflict 1 point of damage, then a successful roll of 6 would mean that no damage is done. However, the shield is heavy, and you will have to leave behind 1 item of equipment to be able to carry it. I see. I kind of wonder if it would be worth it. It does seem like a really good accessory to have, but at the same time, with skill like this, the only time in which I'm going to lose stamina is if I lose certain rolls. We're not really in battle. Do I leave something behind? Yes, I actually have a shield. A shield is part of my normal equipment list, is it not? Yes, a shield is part of my list of equipment. So, we are going to leave behind the normal shield. And I'm going to call this the Crescent Shield. Sounds awesome. In addition, we don't have a lot of room. I didn't leave myself a lot of room, so I need to make myself a note at the bottom. Shield. Roll 6 after being attacked to block 1 damage. There. That'll fit. We've actually found an area of the book where the mechanics change a little bit. That is really cool. You may now leave the room and continue up the corridor. Turn to 300. And now, fellow brave adventurers, we are at 300. And here is where we must stop. So, we have actually added on to our map in a significant way. We are heading up the corridor. And I'll go ahead and put 300 here, just so I remember where it is that I am. The armory was the room that we just visited. We got ourselves a really cool shield that will mitigate 1 damage. I can't wait to test that out. well, if I get hit anyway, it looks like there will be a 16% chance to mitigate 1 damage. And all I had to do was put down my regular shield to pick it up. So really, it was pretty free. It was pretty cost effective. Thank you guys very much for watching. I will see you in the next episode. I hope you all have a fantastic and adventurous rest of your day. Until then, bye for now.